Asur likboa be'erev Shabbos su'uda u'meshte she'enu ragil b'mechol.
600 years old.
You are not allowed to eat a extraordinary meal, Mr. Chase and Moshe. Look inside. An extraordinary meal which is not normal on a weekday. So most people don't make a wedding out of Shabbos. That's a good. No. Asur likboya be'erev Shabbos su'uda mishte she'eino ragil mechol. Erev Shabbos. That means Monday. What is it? It's Yom Tov. You cannot have on a regular Friday when you come from school this big crazy meal. You can't do that. Why?
Why do we have it?
Listen to me. Sha'anu ragu mechol. Ba'afilu hi su'udas erusin. Even if the meal for an engagement. People used to make a big party for an engagement, like a wedding. And they used to make a big suda. Mivnei kovet HaShabbos. Why, Mr. Chase? Why, Moshe? Moshe Chase, why can you do that not on Shabbos? Because of kovet HaShabbos. You should go hungry for the food of Shabbos. Shichan is b'Shabbos. Kishuhu ta'ev le'echo. You should be hungry to eat. V'chol ha'yoyim b'chlal ha-isur. And the isur is the entire day. Some people would say from the Gemara Avei Shabbos, which I'm sure Mr. Chase learned, that this is only from the 9th hour. Wrong. Says Mr. Berura. The entire day you cannot go crazy on food. Hago. This is Rabbi Yosef Karo for the Sfarim. Hago, Ashkenaz people. Usu'uda shizmana be'erev Shabbos. And the suda that the time is on before Shabbos, Kugoin, Bris Mila. What about if I have a Bris Mila on Friday? Can I have meat or a pidyon aben, right? Mutar, you're allowed to, says the Haggah, says Ramoshe Ishalish, if it's a Sudas mitzvah that is not in your hand, you're allowed to eat and go crazy. You can have a drink, party, Sudas mitzvah. And according to me also, and that is the logical minhag. Le'echol v'lishto is to drink and eat bli kvius su'uda, without making a su'uda. So says Ramoshe Yosef Karo, very nice, but you know what? I'm talking about a person who just eats and eats and eats without even making it a meal. He's just eating the whole day. He's the munchies, like me. Munchy time. Even if this is a normal meal for the week. According to halacha, you're allowed to eat start the whole day. Ava mitzvah lehimna milkova suda shnog b'chol mishte shois mishte mitesha shois lamala. And this is what I said before. I know when I'm talking. And minhag is 9 hours ahead before Shabbos, 9 hours of the daytime, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours, we do not start a meal. Yes, Moshe Ben Rav asked. Fine. We turn the page back. And we see what the boys have to say about this. We'll start with the okay, but even what? People don't do that at Shabbos.
Let me give you a test.
You're allowed to. Nobody says what we do. Erev Shabbos, so you should Erev Shabbos because you want to be hungry on Shabbos meal. So I don't care what you do on Wednesday. Have a steak dinner, eat 5 pounds of steak. Yes. Friday, you shouldn't. Now, we start with the Ber Hativ on the top lines here.
Good.
Irusin.
Next, let's say it comes out
engagements. Hu hadin su'udin su'in. He really means a wedding meal. Why? In the time, in the olden days, what we call a wedding was the engagement. So when people did the marriage thing with the chuppah and the meal, that's the engagement.
Came out on Shabbos.
That's not the wedding part. Tzarich, Iyun, the Misiman, etc., etc. He tells you where to look for this. Cause of the Suda Irusin, Suda's mitzvah, it is a Suda's mitzvah special meal. He afilu be'erev Pesach, even in the beginning of the day of Pesach. Kol sheken be'erev Shabbos, for sure erev Shabbos. Remember I said before, Arbe Pesachim, that's the Gemara we learned, but speaks about this. V'od kasha, it's difficult for me, u'besimon, blah blah blah, kas of the mutar, lisa erev haregel, v'od kasha, kivan, the eres be'erev Shabbos, that somebody would get engaged before Shabbos. To make the Suda be'erev Shabbos. So he says, listen, you know what? It might be allowed, but it is a weird thing to do. There's, number one, there's no mitzvah to eat. When people die, the only mitzvah is the Suda of the egg and the dry bread. There's no mitzvah to eat any food. An American custom is to bring food to a beit ovel. We should know from it, but there is no such mitzvah. When the people come home from the Beis Kvoros, when they bury the person, they eat an egg. That's the only mitzvah we have. There's a mitzvah, an Indian. I don't even know if it's a mitzvah. So, answer. No. Niet. Очень хорошо. Okay. Further. Asur likboa. It is prohibited to lift up. Re'isa, but the Gemara, it's explained to the Gemara, the Haisa, Mishpach b'Yerushalayim, there's a family in Yerushalayim, Shekava Suda be'erev Shabbos, and they made a Suda on Erev Shabbos, be'erev Shabbos, Huadin, be'erev Yom Tov, the Yom Tov Nami Mitzvah, the Ango or the Chvoido. So the same thing what we said for Shabbos, that you should be hungry for the meal of Shabbos, counts for the meal of Yom Tov. So you have to be, whenever you have a meal, you have to be hungry for that meal. Suda Zerusin. Now is the Mishmur going to tell us about this, what he says about Zerusin. Perish im ares koidem. If the engagement was before, so he does not hold like the Ber Hetev. He says this is not a wedding meal. This is just like what we call the L'chaim. People got engaged Thursday night, and you don't make a special meal on Friday, right? Sorry for the glasses there. Okay. Pirush im, we have. Oh, you're benching already. We had Simon. Did he bench yet? Okay, bad. Be'erev Shabbos, v'hu adin be'erev Yom Tov. Okay, one second. Suda Sirusin. Pirush im ares kodim lachein, so la soisa Suda be'erev Shabbos. If he got engaged before, he cannot make the meal Erev Shabbos. The Suda Arusin, he mitzvah. Even though the Suda Arusin is a mitzvah. So maybe he is talking about the Chasna Suda. B'chol Malcolm, in any case, higher loy lahagdimo, you should make it early. Aval im ares be'erev Shabbos. But if you actually got engaged on Erev Shabbos, mutar la'asois Suda, that you can make the Suda. The kiven, the erusin, shiraya be'erev Shabbos, because it was planned Erev Shabbos, mishum shaloi, yikadmu acha, that somebody else should not come and marry your wife. So as soon as you say, that is going to be Mrs. Van der Velde Jr., you engage with her, and you marry her, because otherwise somebody else might come and say, hey, Yentl is going to be Mrs. Schwartz.
Yeah, so.
Fine.
You
don't want to lose out on the opportunity.
So what's the opportunity?
To marry this Yentele here. Our imaginary friend Yentele. V'chashvu kamo Sudas Mila, it's the same as important as the Suda of a Bris Mila, or Pidyon Ben, and a Pidyon Ben, Shazman Kavua, that has a standard day. What does that mean, standard day, Moshe Van der Velde? Bris Mila, what does it mean, a standard day? When he's talking about standard day on the Bris Mila, what does that mean? Okay, what does it mean? Standard amount of time on a bris milah. Chase.
The what's it called? It has to be has to be 6, 7 days.
That's 8 days. Fine.
8 days.
So the 8th day we make a bris milah. You hear Chase? That's what he's saying, and he's correct. So if the baby was born on Friday,
Unless it's still like unhealthy.
yellow. So the point is, if the bris milah, if the baby was born on Friday, when is going to be the bris milah? Friday. Very good. So you make a sudas mitzvah. It's not. You can't handle that. You can't change that. That's not in your hands, right? So also, if the engagement is Erev Shabbos, mutar la'asoi suda gamken, and you're also allowed to make the suda on Erev Shabbos. It's better nachonim iefshai litchois suda if you cannot postpone the suda. Okay, lemachar or yom achar, to make it the next day, Motzei Shabbos, or on a different day, if you can. Yes, Moshe Van der Velde, this question.
What if the baby born was 8 days before our fast of Shavuos?
Fast of Shavuos? I don't have a fast.
And Yom Kippur.
Yom Kippur. If a baby was born on Yom Kippur, you make the bris milah on.
No, 8 days before Yom Kippur.
Then you make the bris milah on Yom Kippur. You won't have a meal. You don't eat. You make a meal after Yom Kippur, but you do the bris milah, you have Yom Kippur. And except the moel can actually drink the wine, I think, but I'm not sure. I will ask that question. Cover the Shabbos. For the cover the Shabbos, Yesh Shekasvu Hasam, the Albos who said there, Shemitoch Tirdas Asuda Lo Yitasku B'Tzarchet Shabbos. The other reason is that because you're going to have this big meal, you're not going to take care of your meal for Shabbos. Okay. We'll now go here and maybe we'll learn something else. Yes, let's learn something else. You guys have a